Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and as you can see from my portfolio today and the stocks I own on the side here, we actually had a pretty bad stock market day in which we got a pretty significant drop as well with VOO. VOO basically mirrors the S&P 500 index, so it sort of mirrors just the general stock market trend, at least in my opinion, and it was actually down 3.01% today, and then my portfolio was down 2.12%, so neither of those experienced a positive growth day today, but Tesla still did hold it down a little bit, just slightly at 0.58%. So I'm pretty happy about that one. Tesla has been coming through so much for me lately, and I think we are getting near the positive in my cost basis for that. But the interesting thing about today is I feel like people are looking at today like it's no big deal. But if this were to have happened before all of this huge volatility where we've experienced so many significant drops and so many significant growth days, I feel like a drop in 3% in one day 3 months ago, people would be reacting greatly to that and sort of panicking. I feel like there would be a lot of people just simply panic selling out there just from a drop like this, because anything over 1% in one day, whether it's growth or a loss, is usually considered pretty significant, at least in my opinion. Before all of this volatility started occurring and we sort of got seasoned to that volatility of big drops and big increases, to where 3% may not seem like a lot in one day, but at least in my opinion, I think this is pretty significant regardless of all of the volatility that we've had lately, and people would definitely be making a big deal about this just a few months ago. However, and this goes back to what I was talking about earlier, and it sort of makes sense with everyone's perspective, but this 3% doesn't really seem like a big deal just because the market has been volatile, and I think the fact that we can accept the market is volatile right now, that these drops and these increases aren't as big of a deal as they normally would be. And that sort of goes back onto what I said earlier about if we weren't in a volatile market, these drops would be viewed as very, very significant. And I believe they are still viewed as significant even today. But it's sort of just a different mindset when you accept how volatile the market is currently. But aside from all of that, I lost a little bit over $1,300, but considering how much the market has gained recently, I'm definitely not worried about that whatsoever. Like I always say, even if my portfolio decreased like 30%. Although I would be a little bit sad that it's going to take time for that to recover, I would not like be panic selling or doing anything crazy like that and selling at a loss just because I'm down a little bit, because I'm in this for the long term and I'm looking 40 years into the future and not just within the next 5 years or so, to where if I did sell my stocks 5 years from now, I would probably still be at a loss if we entered a great recession or something like that. But the fact that I'm looking at this in such a long-term perspective within like the next 40 years, it gives me plenty of time and risk tolerance for this to recover, and even a recession would just be a small moment on a huge timeline. But like I've mentioned in other videos, I'm being super cautious right now, and I don't think that we have hit the bottom on March 23rd. I think that it may take a little bit of time as earnings reports come out and more news comes out, and I think that eventually it will either start spiking drastically or go on a slow downturn in which it will eventually pass this bottom right here. So I do think it is important to be cautious in the market currently, because we cannot predict the market no matter what everyone thinks. It's almost impossible to consistently predict the market, and that just sort of proves it with this bull run that we've had recently when everyone was thinking that it was eventually going to go lower, like right at this point, and keep on going down. So I'll be the first to admit that I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I can only guess and theorize, but I can't necessarily accurately predict the market consistently. But considering that and the fact that I am being cautious, it does give me the opportunity to just get some cash going on the side here to wait on the sidelines for when an opportunity does occur for me to purchase stocks at a good price. So regardless if my value of my portfolio does go down, it will still help me in the long term if I take advantage of that situation. Instead of just letting your portfolio go all the way down and just watching it happen, one way you can sort of have an offensive play to that is to buy more stocks on sale once it reaches a significant low point, and you can sort of combat what is happening with your portfolio by buying some stocks at a low point, which you will gain more money on in the future most likely. But like I say in every single one of these videos, this is not to be considered financial advice. This is simply sharing my thoughts and opinions about the market and sort of my perspective on the various moves that I can make and everything along those lines. But just to jump into my different holdings, my main 4 holdings today, and share my losses and profits with Tesla. For today on VOO, I lost $918, which, as I said earlier, was minus 3.01%. My current total return is minus 4,300, which is minus 12.85%. Although that's like a lot of money, $4,300 is a lot of money, we're only down like 12.85%, which is not too significant, but it does take a little bit longer for VOO to grow in terms of percentage, in which it usually averages about 10% every year. So that may end up taking a little bit longer for this to recover. And then next up, we have Microsoft, which is actually at a pretty high share price right now, considering the whole situation. It's at 170. And as you can see, today's losses are minus 280 or minus 1.66%. We're still in the positive on Microsoft. We are $1,144 ahead right now, and that is a 7.42% all-time gain. And that's pretty solid considering that I bought into Microsoft, like a significant amount of Microsoft, like right up near the beginning of the crash. And then next up we have Apple, which is getting into a pretty significant share price at 282 right now, minus 186 today or minus 1.55%. And then in total we're only down 1.17%, which is not too bad. So we're only $140 into the hole. And in the long-term future, I certainly believe that that will recover eventually for sure. And then finally we have Tesla, one of the most interesting stocks out there right now. It is on such a bull run this past week. As you can see, it's up 27% in the past week. And that is very significant when you have a high value stock like Tesla. Like, this isn't a $4 stock or a $20 stock or even a $100 stock. That was like at $400 $564 on April 9th, so just a few days ago. And I gained $48.88 today, or 0.86%. That's pretty solid. And then I'm only down 11.79%, which is minus 765. So I'm actually very happy with how Tesla is performing lately. But anyways, I just wanted to share my current thoughts about the market and my current gains and losses for today. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. And if you did, please make sure to smash that like button. It really does help out, and it helps me get these videos recommended to new viewers. And also, if you want to begin investing, feel free to use my referral links for Robinhood and Webull in the description and the comment section below. I'll have it pinned in the top comment. If you sign up with my referral links, we'll both get a free stock. And something really cool, I checked my Webull account this morning, and I actually had a few people sign up, and I got some like $15 stocks. I know I got Viacom. And for example, if you look at Viacom, I know I got Viacom and then Snapchat, but if you look at Viacom just like 3 months ago, this was a $40 stock on January 16th, and it's a little bit low right now, but I actually have like 4 free shares of Viacom that I received. So I'll probably wait for this whole situation to recover and then sell at maybe the $40 or $35 mark. So that is a potentially pretty high value free stock. Not only is it $15 right now, but if I wait for it to recover back to that $35 to $40 mark, I'll be able to sell multiple shares of those that I received for free, which would be really awesome. So even if you don't use Webull as your main investing platform, you can still get a free stock that may potentially be worth $40 or $50 in the future, which is pretty awesome in my opinion. And considering that it's almost passive income and takes very little effort to get that, I definitely do think that's a good idea. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.